Wicked is how I would describe the film we just watched, because that's the name of the film. Wicked. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I have waited for this film for so long. It has been a minute, and finally the wait is over. And what did I think? I've been a big Wicked fan since I saw the Broadway musical. I saw it, how long ago was that? That would have been like 17 years ago or something. It was a while ago, okay? I've been a fan of it since then. I read the book, love the book. I need to read the other books because I just found out that there's more, so I'm gonna keep reading the books. So this is a musical that I've been waiting a long time. I had a lot of anticipation, I had a lot of expectations going into this film, and I was nervous, I'm not gonna lie. When they said Ariana Grande is gonna be playing Galinda, I was like, I'm a little nervous. I know Ari can sing, but can she be Galinda? And I have seen her in a few other things, and I liked her okay. But I was just like, I don't know, because there's a lot that I'm going to be expecting. And dang, she crushed it. And Cynthia as Elphaba crushed it. Everyone in this film was really just dominating. I do have a few criticisms. We have a few criticisms, I think, Duck and I. But it does not take away from this film, because at this point, any criticisms I think that people have are just us nitpicking, because this film was straight fire. So I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. During the film, cried. I cried so much, I cried my face paint off. The tears started early for me. Literally the opening number, No One Mourns the Wicked, is what we start with. Just like in the stage musical. I wasn't sure if we were actually even going to start with it in this adaptation, but this really is a very true adaptation if you like the musical. I think why I cried in that first number was just seeing this come to life and seeing it done so well. It was really moving because, you know, this is a movie that's been talked about for a while, and I've been waiting for a long time, and I just, you know, there was a time where I just basically gave up, and I was like, you know, the Wicked movie is never gonna happen. This is one of the shows that I saw that made me want to be a performer. I just fell in love with it. It's one of my favorite musicals of all time. So seeing it brought to life and done so well, and getting to actually see Oz was really magical for me. It was very emotional, clearly. And I instantly started crying. I'm already getting teary just thinking about it, but no more tears because I can't ruin my makeup anymore. But also just the bond, the relationship that we see that grows between Elphaba and Galinda was just done so well in this film. I'm going to try to avoid spoilers in this, by the way. I always do that, but this might be one of my more spoilery reactions, just because I also have seen the musical, so I'm trying to think about like what's spoilery, but sometimes that's going to be broken in my head, so I apologize if I say anything that, you know, you're like, oh no, I didn't know that they're friends or something. I'm sorry about that. But the relationship between them, it's really beautiful to watch it blossom, and it's very emotional. And I just love the approach that they had with this, because they did justice to the stage show. They did the stage show. That is basically the stage show, what we just watched. Duck hasn't seen the stage show yet, but that's basically it. But they made it so cinematic. They really transformed it without having to compromise the actual story. They did add they added like a few things. I didn't mind that. I mean, you know, what was it, 3 hours or something? It's like 2:40 or something like that?
Something like that.
It's pretty long, the runtime. It's over 2 hours. And it is only the first half of the musical. We're gonna have the longest intermission of our lives now as we wait for part 2. But they didn't have too much to work with. They really, I wouldn't say stretched it, they added it. They padded it with some extra stuff that I thought was really well done. The only thing that I would say, okay, let's get into what did I talk about? I talked about the design, I talked about the acting, I talked about, the musical numbers. Let's talk about that before I get into my criticisms. The musical numbers were on another level. This was literally like Chicago for me. I haven't seen a musical this good since Chicago. That's how good it is. It is like, it needs to win Academy Awards. I'm convinced. These musical numbers, they brought them to life in a way that the stage show just can't do. They made me feel how I felt when I saw the stage show with the musical numbers. It felt magical. It felt like I didn't know you could do that, was how I felt when I first saw this stage show. They were pulling out all kinds of theater tricks, and this is that level of magic made manifest. We're gonna be stuck in the red lights for a bit. Red Light City. So that was really good. They did add a few things that were very like Wizard of Ozzy, is what I would say, that were very Wizard of Ozzy, but I didn't mind it. I actually thought it was kind of cute. I actually liked it. So yeah, there is that. You'll know when you get to it, probably, especially if you're familiar with the musical. But I'll talk about it more in my full review because I don't want to spoil anything. But yes, so the musical numbers were amazing. The set design, the costumes, the acting, the casting, just basically every level of this film is fantastic, and I think it's going to be a film that people are going to want to rewatch like again and again. I honestly want to go back and watch it again right now, and I will definitely be rewatching it a lot, I imagine. A lot. So, I should also say, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there was a delightful surprise in this that I wasn't expecting that just also heightened the experience for me, especially as someone that loves the stage show. I don't want to spoil it though, but you'll see it. It's a good surprise, so I hope you enjoy it when you get there. Keep your eyes peeled. Okay, my only criticisms. Michelle Yeoh's singing was not the best part of this film. But also, Madame Morrible is kind of a character who's very sing-songy, like very, or talk-songy, you know? She's kind of got that thing going on. So they did that, and then they made it work, and I do feel like she's a great Madame Morrible, so I'm not, you know, there's more singing also in part 2, I think, that we're gonna get from her, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, Duck, do you want to talk about the CG?
The costuming, the sets, the props, all that stuff is so on point, and a lot of it is all practical.
The grimoire.
The grimoire?
The grimoire.
Yeah, all that stuff looks so good that sometimes when the CG comes in, you're like, ugh. Oh, where did that come from? That doesn't look good.
Yeah, there's a lot of good practical effects.
But yeah, I'd say the overall just design for this film was phenomenal. As someone who's never seen Wicked or cared really to see it, this really did shape what it is in my mind, if that makes sense.
That's good, yeah.
It's
Fiyero is a 35-year-old man.
Yeah, that was my other criticism. There were some of these teenagers that looked.
Well, it is college, you know, or university. You could go at any age.
I know, but some of them are like, oh, it's like we're kids going to this school, and I'm like, oh my, kid, you're like 40, you're like 35.
Yeah. So I think what else did I want to say? There was one other thing I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it was.
Just end it.
All right. Well, there was one other thing, but I'll remember it in the full review. So make sure you come back for that. I'll tell you about it there because I don't want to spoil anything. But that's our thoughts. Basically, loved it. What would you give it overall, Duck?
Yeah, I mean, that's a 5 out of 5. I know it's not going to be like a must-watch for everyone, but if you enjoy film, you'll like this.
Yeah, I think it is an acquired taste, and I would also say, though, 5 out of 5, especially as someone who is a fan of the musical and the book. So, yeah. Also, go enjoy those things, too, because they're also really good, but this was on another level for me. I might end up liking it even more than the Broadway musical, which is something. So, definitely go see it if you can. All right, friends, that's it. Until next time, stay nerdy. Also, let us know what you think of the film down in the comments. I'm very red and very green, but which am I, red or green?